Hey everybody, it's Alex from Metal Master Kingdom, and welcome to another episode of Virtual Chats. And today on the show, we have the great pleasure of having one of my favorite guitarists and a very underappreciated guitarist, in my opinion. We have Sami Yli-Sirnio from Kreator. So Sami, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me. I've been a big fan for a long time now, so great to have you.
Hey, Alex, pleasure is on my side. Thank you for the interest and talking.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I've been a big fan for a while. I've seen you guys live a bunch of times, so it's great to chat with you.
All right.
I'm the last couple of times you guys came here, I've chatted with Milla a few times, and he's always great. So it's awesome. So
yeah, I remember in Toronto we played the Opera House a couple of times, and then there was some other venue. I couldn't remember the name of it, but it's always been a really nice time over there. We love Toronto, all of us.
Getting right into it, the big excitement right now is that Kreator has a great brand new album out. I had the chance to listen to it, and it's another really good one. Given that this album was written and recorded during a crazy time with the pandemic and all that, describe the process of how this one was recorded. Anything different from the albums that preceded it?
Well, I mean, the good difference about it was, of course, that we had more time to concentrate on the songs and record demos over and over and over again. And even though there were travel restrictions at the time, we were lucky enough to have the chance to go to Essen. Essen is in Germany, like at the Ruhr area where the band has the rehearsal room. And we did like sessions of already back in 20, like we went for 2 weeks there, and then we went for 2 weeks to home to listen to it, and you know, how do you say it? Reflect on the songs, and then another 2 week session after that, and then again 2 weeks at home. So we were traveling around to the rehearsal room to rehearse as a band for maybe like almost 2 years, but there was times in between that she couldn't travel.
Yeah,
but that was all right. That kind of gave us even more time to think about what songs maybe can be dropped and what are worthwhile working on further. So in that way, maybe it was even a blessing. and during that time, we also changed the producer. First, we were supposed to do it with Jens Blugren, who recorded our two previous albums, but now we ended up working with this guy called Arthur Rizk, who's from Philadelphia, and it was a nice, like a refreshing change to make new music. Also with our new bass player Fredrik Licklier, and so we had a like in the core team, we had like 2 new people, and it made a lot of sense, and it was fun.
Yeah, it's awesome. So I want to pick up on the 2 new members to the team. First of all, you said you work with Arthur Rizk. How would you compare working with him compared to working with Jens?
Well, Jens is like a perfectionist, to the point of maybe sometimes even going a little bit too far with it. When I think of it in retrospect, but I don't want to say anything bad about him. Jens is an amazing producer. He produces very good metal albums and all kinds of albums all the time. But since we made already 2 albums with him, we thought that maybe to have a newer, fresher approach from somebody new would be a good thing, and it turned out to be like that. And his way of working while recording, while tracking the songs is more maybe loose and more easygoing, and well, I mean, it's like they're both great producers, but they're quite different. Yeah. So Arthur Rizk did a great job, and it was a risk to take Arthur Rizk, but the risk was worthwhile. Yeah,
exactly. So the other new member to the team, Fred, came into the band in 2019. Now, nothing really has been said about this, and if it needs to be kept under wraps, it's totally fine. But what led to the split with Christian?
Oh, it was just maybe he wasn't so happy in the band after all, and was looking for other opportunities, and it's hard to say. It took a little bit longer time, and of course I hope all the best for him, and he's got his new musical endeavors on the way, and it just happened really quite naturally. I it's all good, you know. We wish him all the best, and he wishes the band all the best, and it was just yeah, it took a little while, but we noticed that he wasn't really happy in the band, so it's
Right.
good, you know, like fresh enthusiasm is very important.
Yeah. So that I'm glad to hear that there was no like bad blood or anything like that. So
No, 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 no. I don't see it like that. I met him in Essen, one of those rehearsal sessions. There was a show in the city, and yeah, we went to check out Vader together. Vader was playing in a church, and it was a lot of fun. It was just like
wow,
always.
Vader in a church. That's something.
Yeah. It belongs there, huh?
Exactly. So the last two albums that you guys put out, Phantom Antichrist and Gods of Violence, are some of your absolute best albums. Like they really stack up with the classics. And like I remember when those albums came out and I was listening to them, I'm like, oh man, how are they gonna top these or whatever? Because they're such high quality. Um, and ever since you came into the band like 2 decades ago, Mila has handled the bulk of the songwriting in the band. But I heard that you contributed to the last album, right?
Yeah, it's like Miller has always been the main songwriter in the band, and he writes all the lyrics
Yeah.
exclusively, and that's where usually like he gives like a rough demo he sends to everyone, and that's like starting point of making the songs, and then maybe sometimes I have additional parts or ideas that I would like to contribute. Sometimes they're taken and sometimes they're not.
Yeah.
and the same also with Fred had a bunch of brilliant ideas on the new album, and and also actually Arthur was also like giving his input to the arrangements. Like he visited us in Germany before we actually went to record in Berlin. You know, we have a rehearsal room and a demo studio in Essen.
Yep.
So Arthur came there like a few weeks before we actually went to record, and he had like a bunch of ideas of how about doing it like this. And then also the first demos that we made for Hey to Burl is the album, they were sometimes maybe slightly, the songs were maybe a little bit more complex and they had more parts, and then we ended up like you know, like how do you say it, like getting more with the arrangements like straight to the point, and cutting out parts that we thought that maybe weren't necessary, and so on, and keeping it more simple and in your face kind of an attitude,
Yeah.
and I think it turned out to be the right thing to do. I mean, because yeah, we're not a progressive band after all.
Yeah, like I said,
Maybe we have too much time to do the demos or something.
absolutely. Like I said, the new album "Hey to Morales," it's fantastic. Like a couple of my favorite tracks right now are like "Crush the Tyrants" and "Killer of Jesus," and those are all like the singles as well. Like they all stand up as well. But some of the unreleased songs yet, like I said, "Killer of Jesus," "Become Immortal," like "Conquer and Destroy." Like I could not stop replaying those songs. So good stuff.
Wow. Wow, hey, thank you very much. I'm really happy that you like it, and I can't wait to hear what everybody thinks of it when it comes out. It was first planned to be June the 3rd, but now the release date is set to be the 10th of June.
Okay.
And we're gonna do a bunch of festivals already in June, like one in Czech Republic, one over here in Finland, which I'm very much looking forward to, and there's a bunch in Germany and mostly Europe.
Yep.
And and hopefully a tour in North America in like September, October, but they're still working on it.
Okay. We're definitely hoping for that. Like, I'm really looking forward to seeing, because last time I saw you guys, the last time you were here, when you were touring with Sabaton, and
Oh yeah,
and that was a fantastic show.
that was a fun tour. Yeah.
Any good memories from that tour? Like, any pranks going on between the two bands?
Well, I mean, they're very nice people. Like I didn't know them before the tour, so I didn't know what to expect. But you know, me coming from Finland, and they're Swedes, so there's a very similar kind of attitude towards everything with those guys. And first we were worried that does the music fit well together, but you know, if you see a metal concert when there's 3 or 4 bands playing, I think it's a good thing that there's versatility in the music. I mean, who wants to hear bands who play the same same over and over again, you know? So it's good to do tours like that. As long as it's metal.
Yeah, exactly. Like before the show, before that I mean, after your set and during Sabaton's set, I actually spoke to Mila backstage. I got to do an interview with him, and I asked him about the tour, and he did this like really cool comparison between the two bands. He's like, Sabaton have this like big, epic, heroic kind of vibe, and we Kreator, we want to like kill everybody and all that. So it's a nice like little like contrast like to the two. So first you got the aggression of you guys, then like wanting to kill people, and then you got Sabaton. We're like, we're here to save the day.
Yeah. It was a good tour. I liked it. It was fun.
For sure. Speaking of one other thing that you mentioned, that you live in Finland and all that, and you went to Germany and all that to do the rehearsals and all that. But I remember one time I did hear you speaking fluent German, right? Did you used to live in Germany?
Yeah, back in the 90s. It's a very long time ago. Like it started off as a thing with when I was a teenager, when I was a kid, we moved with that band off to Berlin. We had one show booked, and it just turned out for me that I ended up staying there for a long time for whatever reasons it was back then. Maybe Helsinki was back in the 90s, maybe a little bit like introverted and not such an international city as it is today. But back then I just ended up staying there in Berlin because I liked it so much. But at some point, then I moved back to Finland, and funnily enough, that was exactly the same time when they asked me to join Kreator. So the timing could have not been worse.
Oh man!
But it works like this also. It's only a 1.5 hour flight to Düsseldorf, where I usually fly to, and then I take it, and then go to Essen for rehearsals. And often when we do shows, they're somewhere else. It's not so Germany based thing anyway. Yep. And now our new bass player Frank.
Right. He's in France, yeah.
Frank is from France, so we always meet up for shows or recordings, and then it doesn't matter where it is. Nice. So it's easy to work like that because everything's fairly close. We all live fairly close to one another. Fred can take a train to Essen. I have to fly, but it's easy.
Nice. So like would in the future, do you think you may like just stay in Essen around there for the band related stuff, or you guys may like trade spots? Like sometimes you'll go to France, or sometimes you go to Finland, and sometimes Germany. Do you think it may work like that?
Well, I mean, I guess the headquarters is in Essen, because we have the rehearsal room over there, and the storage room for our equipment and everything. But other than that, the people who work in our crew, they're from all over the place, and our tour manager, front of house mixer, he's from Munich, and our management is from Birmingham, England. So it's all like it's just a question of logistics and how to make it work. Sure, might be a little bit, it might be easier if everybody would be living in the same city, but it doesn't really matter that much. The main thing is that everybody is motivated, and that everybody wants to do it, and like prioritizes it, and makes room in the calendar for things to work. And that's how it is for me, you know, like a bunch of music going on all the time everywhere, but I just prioritize Kreator because it's the most important thing for me musically, and it has been for the last 20 years already.
Yeah, for sure. So picking up on with Kreator being your main thing, you also have a couple of other bands, Barren Earth and Waltari. What's the latest going on with those bands?
Well, Barren Earth, the founder and the bass player, he's back in Amorphis now. They're actually touring in the States as we speak. Yep. and we made like 4 albums, and it was fun, and they're good friends and everything, but we don't have any plans for any shows or albums right now, because everybody's busy with their own stuff. Yep. It kind of started off like as a side project, and the problem always with Barren Earth, we all loved making the albums and so on, but to find time together to go on tour was always a problem. So then it, you know, sometimes it's just maybe someday, who knows, you know, like I don't want to close any doors with that, because it was a fun thing to do. Mm-hmm. And with Waltari, I promised to go play a show with them here in Helsinki on the 9th of June, because we released like a 30-year-old anniversary album with other musicians interpreting our songs. so we're going to try to make a show out of that at the Tavastia Club in Helsinki. So the Waltari is still alive for sure, but I'm not part of the regular lineup, like live lineup, but right. Sometimes I am if I have time. Actually, we have 4 guitarists at the moment, so it's easy. 4, huh? we're like a collective, like a reggae collective. You know, people come when they can.
Yeah. One other thing I read, like I literally read this last night. Actually, I read somewhere that a few years ago there was talks about a Kreator cruise. Is that true?
Kreator cruise?
Yeah,
I heard about it too, but I think that was something that was in the air, like just before the pandemic, and then of course,
and it got squashed.
All kinds of cruises have been left in the back, and also like because of this terrible thing with the COVID worldwide. I mean, lots of plans were changed. Like, for example, our tour with Lamb of God was our European tour with Lamb of God was postponed twice.
Yeah.
And now that it's finally happening in November, December this year, it's like the whole role of the tour has changed. Now it's a tour with our new album. So
yep.
Lots of things have changed because of that silly pandemic. But yep. I know it's not silly. I mean, but the unfortunate thing. But I'm so glad that it's finally like over here. Don't have to wear masks are not mandatory anymore, and there are shows happening again, and that's wonderful that it's
same here.
Same over there. Yes, that's what I've read. That's good.
Yep.
Finally, we have other problems to think about. Those are the Russians.
Exactly. Finally got to attend a couple of shows in the last couple months, and I'm just breathing a sigh of relief. Like 2 years of not going to see shows. I'm like, oh man, this feels so amazing.
Yeah. It's I was surprised how important it is.
Yep, absolutely. So a couple more questions, and then I'll let you go. So if you don't mind, I want to do like a quick little round of this or that. Like, you heard of this little game?
No.
It's basically like I ask you, what do you prefer of like 2 things, and you got to pick one. So one of those.
Okay.
So coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Coffee, nice. Okay. Which movie, Jaws or Close Encounters of the Third Kind?
Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Nice. Both Spielberg movies. So
what?
Both Steven Spielberg directed movies. They're both.
Yes, they are. They are.
Yep.
They are. Yeah.
So, okay, so blonde or brunette?
It doesn't matter.
No.
It matters what's inside the brain.
Exactly, exactly. Fruits or vegetables?
I think I consume more vegetables than fruit.
Chicken or steak?
I'm not a vegan, but I would, if the steak is responsibly grown, then yes.
Nice. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Trek is somehow more intelligent, and they made a point there with in the 60s with you know, subtly being against racism and all that. So just because of that, I would have to say Star Trek.
All good, all good. Okay, now these last two here have to do with Kreator. So, Pleasure to Kill or Extreme Aggression?
Oh, which one of the albums do I prefer?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, wow! Pleasure to Kill. I love it because of the animalistic raw power behind it, and not caring. I mean, it's just full throttle, like a young man's anger that you can hear there. And Extreme Aggression is kind of like the same thing, but a little bit more sophisticated.
Yeah.
Wow, what a question. I don't know. Maybe Extreme Aggressions.
All right, cool. Okay, and this one, Phantom Antichrist or Gods of Violence?
Ooh, Gods of Violence.
Yeah. Last question. Like I said, hopefully we'll see you guys over here in Canada, North America, sometime this year. If not, next year maybe.
I hope there are plans to talking about something like October or so, but it's not for sure yet. You know, the live market is a little bit overheated.
Yeah, especially with things like getting back.
Yeah, which is a good thing, which is a great thing. You know, the more shows, the better. You know, that's what I think.
Yeah, exactly. And any bands you're in talks with to tour with over here?
Yeah, but I mean, because I don't. Some of them didn't work out, and it's just we just hope that we get to go to do it still this year, like before the European tour, which is in November, December. So I really hope it's gonna happen. But I'm not sure yet. I wouldn't know.
Well, fingers crossed that will happen. When you guys do come here, I'll definitely be there. Looking forward to seeing you guys again.
All right, Alex. Thank you.
Because you guys always deliver like an excellent show.
Thank you.
All right, no problem. So, Sami, thank you so much for chatting. It was a pleasure. I wish you guys all the best with the new album, Hey Uber Alice. It's out June 10th, and look forward to see you guys on tour.
All right. Hey, Alex, thank you for your interest, and I hope to see you in Toronto then.
Yeah, absolutely. All the best, man.
Cheers. All the best. See you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.